we go. 3, 2. I'll let you drink. We'll get a good long sip in there.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2. Welcome to Ring Talk with Magic Tyler. Caysen Smith.
I tried to join in, but I don't think I really contributed much. Ooh, encore.
Anyways, we are here, we are back, and we are about to talk about SmackDown from last week because we're recording this
September 6th.
September 6th. We're recording this on the 13th, so that means SmackDown's going to happen after we record this.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th.
When they're watching this, it won't be
Maybe
the 13th,
Wyatt 6 will show up to Friday Night SmackDown for Friday the 13th.
If it happens, he called it before it happened.
I called it.
Right now, it is, what time is it? 3:32.
3:32
on
at the
Friday
moment. Don't mind the background.
Friday the 13th afternoon.
Yep. Let's go. Anyways, a lot has happened.
The last Fox SmackDown.
Yeah.
This is it.
The last Fox SmackDown.
The season finale, you might say.
Yep. And then we're going to talk about September 9th, Monday Night Raw, 10th NXT. What else? We're going to
new top 10
top
list.
10s. We're going to do our match reviews. It's going to be a good episode. Y'all are going to get the full, what can I say? The
full what? They're getting the full.
They're getting the full experience. There we go. Full experience of Ring Talk.
I noticed you decided to put Intercontinental Championship in the middle this week.
Yep.
Why go with the Intercontinental Championship this time? In the middle.
Just
a vibe.
With all the things, I feel like this is the most relevant title right now with Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean we'll talk a lot about the IC title. Raw.
If I had the World Championship title as like a prop, this would still be in the middle.
Ooh, it'd be in the back. Would it be in the back?
I don't know. I mean, who's next for Gunther? There is Sami Zayn.
You got Sami Zayn,
but we all know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah.
I don't think Sami's gonna get that. Anyways, we'll talk about this in our match reviews. Not our match reviews. Our
show reviews.
Show recaps. Anyways, let's do this. Let's talk about SmackDown. Let's go.
Solo basically challenges Cody for a rematch for the WWE title in a steel cage.
Yep.
And it's going down tonight as we're recording this.
Yeah.
So we'll cover that next week. But he lays out the challenge. We're going to talk a lot about the Bloodline this week. They got busy these last couple of shows.
I do want to point out, so someone commented about how this rivalry is better than what we claimed.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we claimed that Punk and McIntyre was not just the rivalry of the summer, but the rivalry of the year.
So far, yeah.
That nothing
going on right now
over it. There was a viewer, which much respect.
Hey, people have their opinions.
Opinions are like noses. Everybody has them.
I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, he stated that it was a crazy statement. That's a crazy statement that Punk and McIntyre is the top rivalry.
And they believe the Roman Reigns Bloodline story is the true
best storyline of the year.
Now,
and their evidence was that once Roman lost the title, the crowd continuously chanted for Roman.
Exactly. And we all knew at some point he would return. We didn't know when. We didn't know how. We saw the setup for it. The only thing really for me personally, why I don't think this is as big as a rivalry. First of all, it hasn't had as much. It hasn't been near as long. It hasn't had many significant events. The only thing significant that's happened is that Solo's turned on everybody. Solo claims to be the new tribal chief. Number 2, Roman Reigns returned. Number 3, Roman Reigns beats Solo, then beats Roman Reigns up, and then that's it. That's it. We haven't seen anything else
up to this point.
Yeah, we haven't.
Things could change
now.
And the fact is, we don't necessarily have a huge emotional connection to this new bloodline.
Yeah.
Now, Punk and McIntyre, we know them. We know their backstory. We have a personal connection to them.
Now, yeah, and with this new bloodline, it just doesn't hit the same as the old bloodline.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit the same as Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa. It doesn't match that, in my opinion. It doesn't have that. It's kind of like the new Judgment Day.
Now, I think what this guy was kind of trying to state was that he was focusing a bit on the hype of Roman's return.
Yeah,
was what he was singling in on.
But
comparing to the Punk and McIntyre rivalry.
At least with Punk and McIntyre, their rivalry, they were able to carry on for how many months? How many PLEs?
And it's not like this rivalry has been growing old or anything. They've done 2 matches, and there's going to be a third one, and we're just as hyped for the third one as we were for the second and first.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, so that makes me even more hyped than the other two. So
you know it's going to be violent.
You know it's going to be crazy. You know this is probably going to be the last match for this rivalry
for a little while,
for a bit.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to still hate each other, and we're going to get some things out of that. But I think this is it for now. And then we'll see Punk probably focusing on Gunther, maybe.
I'm assuming, yeah.
And then we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But with Roman Reigns, and I feel like what they're doing right now is that they're kind of stalling it right now. They're stalling Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa for Survivor Series.
And I see something going down tonight on SmackDown.
With maybe
Roman,
cage.
Roman showing up. Especially because it's the first SmackDown on the USA Network. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think tonight's SmackDown is going to be 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's just tonight.
I think so because the new whatever.
Yeah.
It's more like company stuff rather than doing it for us.
Yeah. So I think just for tonight, it's going to be 3 hours. So I think we'll see some big things. I think we could possibly see John Cena or The Rock show up as well.
Maybe. I mean, why not?
Why not? You want to kick it off in a big way.
Maybe The Rock shows up after Cody Rhodes' match. But I don't know.
Maybe The Rock tries to help Solo win, and Roman comes out and stops him.
So is Rock one of the members of the new bloodline?
I think he will be.
And then we'll get a Roman versus Rock match. I'd rather see that at Mania than Cody and Rock.
Then what do you do with Cody? Randy?
I would be more involved. I would be more focused in on that match than Cody versus Rock. Because here's the thing about Cody versus Rock. We've heard me complain about this a lot. I just don't think that this match is WrestleMania worthy because we know the outcome.
You just want it to be no title involved. That would make
that
opens up possibly The Rock has a better chance of winning if there's no title.
Because first of all, we all know The Rock ain't gonna hold that championship, and if he does hold it, he's gonna lose it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it won't be a very long title reign if he has it.
But yeah, we'll see. Maybe The Rock will win it, and then Cody will go on to regain his chance for WrestleMania. I don't know. But still, I just don't think that this is the right call. I don't think it's the right call.
Hot takes.
It's a hot take, but there's got to be some people out there that get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I know we're kind of drifting off topic from talking about SmackDown, but
hey,
I think Kevin Owens should have won the title at Bash in Berlin.
That would have, like I said before.
Holy cow, if he would have turned heel and won the title from Cody.
Like we said before, if that happened, imagine the amount of people that would tune into that next SmackDown. Maybe the next Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about it.
And then you could do a rematch at Bad Blood and have Cody regain the title if you want.
But
you add that excitement.
You gotta add the spice.
The spice.
You gotta put a little seasoning on this. We can't do what we did with Roman Reigns last year, where they just kept giving him these matches that we all knew the outcome was just so they could fill it in for Cody versus Roman at Mania.
Which almost didn't happen.
Yeah, because of Rock.
Because of The Rock. All right, let's get back into SmackDown a little bit. Bayley went one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
Bailey picks up the big W. It's looking like we're going to get a rematch between her and Nia Jax.
Which
probably
we called.
at Bad Blood.
Which we called, yep. We got to see the
debut of Giovanna Vinci, and I'm really curious to get your take on this. Did you see what happened with him?
Yeah, match ended in like 2 seconds.
Against Apollo Crews. Let me hear your opinion on that.
You know, at first, I don't know. With all people, it was Apollo Crews too, which was hilarious because you would think that since they put Apollo Crews in there, then they would give Vinci the win, go Vonnie Vinci, because he's like the kind of person that they would put him in for a debut match. Anyways, I don't know where they're gonna go with this. I don't know if this is gonna be the last time we see him. I
hope they don't turn him into like a jobber, where he's just doing this every week, where he's just losing. I mean. I see Giovanni Vinci has got some serious potential there. I'd like to see him go one-on-one with like LA Knight for the U.S. title at some point down the line.
What do you think of his new persona?
See, I think it's interesting. It's got to sit in with me a little bit. I got to see it a few times.
This first time we can't really say much because all we got to see was him.
I don't know if I'm totally for if they do him like losing in weird ways every week.
Showing off his
and
strength.
Then losing. And then it's like, all right, that's going to get repetitive very quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you can do it once, twice, maybe.
I did think it was very surprising though whenever it happened. Mm-hmm. But whenever he was, as soon as I saw that the ref was like telling him to hurry up, and as soon as I saw the ref going ahead and ringing the bell while he's waiting for him, I was like, okay, so I see what's about to happen. So yeah, I feel like we need to see what happens tonight. If we see him tonight, which I'm sure we will if it's a 3-hour show.
Yeah. They'll get him on the show.
What's next? We got
we got Kevin Owens defeating Grayson Waller, Austin Theory in a triple threat.
Triple threat.
On paper, it was a triple threat, but
handicap match. It might as well have been 2v1 handicap.
Do you still think Austin Theory is going to turn on Grayson Waller soon?
It's gotta. I don't know.
I feel
like they need to wait a tiny bit longer so they can set this up for Mania.
Ooh.
I feel like they should set up for Mania.
I don't know. I feel like Mania is too far where it's just going to get drug out.
Maybe
a little bit.
Maybe they could do if they did Damian Priest and Finn Balor, then make it seem like they got things good. They have the life's going good for them for a while. Maybe even win the championship.
Grayson Waller turns on him,
and then whenever
maybe Austin Theory gets a shot at the U.S. title against LA Knight.
Yeah,
and Grayson Waller costs him the match.
Yeah, I could see them with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. We saw them after Money in the Bank from last SummerSlam, not the SummerSlam that just happened. They made up. They're like, okay, let's just go ahead and focus on our own thing. Mm-hmm. And we thought, okay, maybe they're going to wait a little while. And that's what they did, which was an amazing call.
Yeah.
Great call to leave it. And I think they should do it with this. That's why I'm trying to point it. Just say it. I think they should just...
Yeah, I think they should go down kind of the similar route with Finn Balor and Damian Priest where Grayson Waller basically just gets kind of jealous of Austin Theory maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Austin Theory gets a shot at a U.S. title and Grayson's like, why didn't I get a shot?
Yeah.
Why does he get one and not me or something like that? And play it off in that way.
Or maybe how they had qualifier matches for the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe they could do it with the United States title and have maybe Austin Theory accidentally cost the match for Grayson and Austin Theory wins.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I just want to see it happen at some point. That's all I ask. If it's not at Mania, oh well.
Speaking of the U.S. title,
I could wait though.
LA Knight, United States champion in his first reign, first title on the main roster, and second title pretty much overall. He won the $1 million championship in NXT. But this is his first WWE main title.
Yeah.
And it's looking like he's in the middle of the Andrade Carmelo Hayes rivalry right now. He hits a BFT on both of them. And I think we're going to see a triple threat match, which I think would be a banger between the three.
Yeah, all of them, they all have the capabilities of making a great triple threat match. Mm-hmm. We got Andrade. We've seen him in the ring. We've seen him as a past champion.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo.
Former United States champion.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. My bad.
Yeah.
anyways, we've seen Carmelo Hayes in NXT, what he can do.
Yeah.
We've seen what he can do in SmackDown.
Him and Andrade, both former NXT champions.
Of course. And
Carmelo Hayes was also like North American champion.
Yeah. And we also have the LA Knight, which, first of all, great way to get the crowd hype. Maybe this could be like the start of Bad Blood. Maybe like this match will start it off.
Ooh, that'd be a good banger to start off. Yeah.
To get the crowd hype or something. I would be so down for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Next match, we have the lovely Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green
defeats Meechin with the help of Piper Niven.
Yep.
I think we both agree we can't get enough of Chelsea Green.
Yeah. Chelsea Green.
You put her at the start of the show, midway, at the end. It doesn't matter. Wherever you need her, she can deliver.
And we'll talk about this later, but Chelsea Green is also not only in SmackDown.
I know.
She's
getting the Pete Dunne treatment.
Yep.
She's working both shows.
She's trying to get the pay raise.
Get that pay raise.
Get the bonus.
And then we had the main event of the night, 8-man tag team match, the Bloodline against the Street Profits and DIY.
And they're using this as like a kind of a way to make it to where the Bloodline is seen as the higher rank.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Especially going into this steel cage match. They want to make Solo look unstoppable as well as the rest of the Bloodline.
Yep. We'll talk about more of the Bloodline later. Don't worry about that. We've already talked about them enough.
But that's all of SmackDown.
Great show.
Great little quick recap. We got Monday Night Raw from September 9th. First match, which I thought was potentially going to main event the night. I think I mentioned last week.
Yeah.
But it kicked off the show. Wyatt Six defeats American Made in a street fight.
So, yeah, it's the 4 members of the Wyatt Six versus not the 4 members of, you mean Wyatt, besides from Uncle Howdy.
Howdy. It was technically like 5-on-4, but Uncle Howdy just kind of sat in his chair, and the rest of the Wyatt Six was in the match.
So technically it was 5v4, but it was 4v4 most of the time.
Yeah, you had Eric Rowan, you had Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, it's like a mixed team, too.
And then Ivy Nile, Chad Gable, and the Creed brothers.
And first of all, I just want to say this is match of the night. Match of the last few nights.
Good way to kick off the show.
Whenever I was watching this match, I was thinking that this match was just as good or maybe even better than the Final Testament versus
the Pride.
The Pride at WrestleMania. I thought it was just as good as that.
Just as good. It's up there.
The way Eric Rowan absolutely just tore off the barricade
and just used it as like a battering ram.
There was so much happening at once during that match. I just loved it. I loved every second of it.
Mm-hmm. And Nikki Cross, when she took off the mask and we saw her face, which for like the first time we saw her face since the storyline began.
And also she German suplex. Chad Gable. Oh!
You don't do that to Gable. You just don't do that.
No, you do if you're Nikki Cross.
Who's going to tell her no?
But yeah, I feel like after this match, this banger of a match.
Is it over? Is this rivalry over?
I feel like it's over.
Yeah.
Now, this is why. This is why I say that. At the end of the match, we have Chad Gable laid down. All the Wyatt Six is hovering over him. And you could like hear Uncle Howdy saying like it's like an offering for someone. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing like an offering for Bray Wyatt. Yeah. He was like he was like offering him as like a sacrifice.
Like a sacrifice?
To like Bray Wyatt. So I thought that was like signifying it's over.
So then where do all of these guys go next? Let's start with American Made. Where do they go next?
I hope it's not with Alpha Academy.
Are you done with that?
But I feel like they're going to go back
I feel like there's still a little unfinished business there.
Yeah.
A little bit left.
Yeah.
You could maybe do something at Bad Blood.
Maybe Otis versus Chad Gable at Bad Blood.
One-on-one. Otis versus Chad Gable.
I can see it.
Mid-card match, I think would be good.
You know, like, I feel like we said this maybe 2 episodes ago, saying that, like, Bad Blood should just be the show where they settle all the beef. Mm-hmm. All the beef. Just settle it all.
Settle all the beef.
Settle it all in one night. But maybe if they can build this, I say if they can build it up high enough in the time span that they have, then maybe it could go in Bad Blood.
I mean, we still got. They could do like a handicap match between Alpha Academy and American Made.
And do you think maybe they can like add a new member to Alpha Academy?
I don't necessarily know if they should.
I don't think they should.
I think they could get away with doing like a mixed handicap match.
Yeah.
I think you could get away with doing that.
We can see.
But what about White 6? Where do they go next?
So
showing up on SmackDown?
Now thinking about it, SmackDown would make sense.
Who's the person though? Who they go after?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's the question.
The question is not what show they're going to, but who they're going to.
Who would they go after?
Because I feel like they could just switch between Raw and SmackDown anytime they feel like it.
I mean, I should have asked you this before, but now I'm thinking about it. We talked about Kevin Owens, how he should have won the title but didn't. Since he didn't, where does he go next? Maybe Wyatt 6.
Maybe.
Kevin Owens turned on Sami Zayn all those years ago back in NXT. He turned on Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is known for turning on people. He turned on Kofi Kingston one time. He's known for turning his back on people.
We know that this group is not going after Braun Strowman because Braun Strowman's in his little thing with
Bronson Reed.
That's
another match I could see happening at Bad Blood.
Sami Zayn is with Gunther, so that wouldn't work. So I could see Kevin Owens, now that you mention it. I could see it.
Because what's Kevin Owens got to do? Really?
I don't know.
Who do you put him with at this point? He's been fighting the bloodline for 4 years.
Yeah.
And everybody's sick of that. He's not. Nobody wants another Cody versus Kevin Owens match.
Maybe Randy Orton. I don't know. I think we should do Kevin first before go after that.
Yeah, I think.
But
Kevin versus
Wyatt also with Randy Orton, Randy betrayed Bray Wyatt himself before that Mania.
You're cooking.
So when he burned down the Wyatt house,
the Wyatt compound.
The Wyatt compound.
Compound.
If so,
We're
might be going off of that. I don't know.
Cooking.
We'll see. I could definitely see the next target, I guess you can say, being one of those two. Though.
One of those two.
Because I agree. I am getting kind of bored from them going after the bloodline and fighting against the bloodline.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 4 years.
It's just
Kevin Owens has been fighting him for 4 years.
Yeah, since Roman Reigns won the title.
He's been fighting him.
Yeah. Wasn't he his first challenger after he won?
He was one of them. He had multiple title matches.
Yeah.
I know he was in like a last man standing match.
There's a steel cage match.
I think there may even been a TLC match or something.
Yeah.
He did all the matches.
I could see either. I don't know. We'll see.
Next on the agenda for that night, you had Damian Priest agreeing to Finn Balor's challenge for a match at Bad Blood, and then they were attacked by the Judgment Day, and they pretty much they're still, it's kind of getting a little repetitive. The Judgment Day is just always going after trying to take out Priest and Rhea at the end of the night.
Yeah. I do agree with the repetitiveness. My question, though, is what do we do after Bad Blood? Are we going to keep this going, or are we going to kind of calm it down a little bit?
See, we're getting, right? We're getting two. Surely we're getting Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at Bad Blood, right?
I think they already confirmed it. Yeah.
So, oh, man. I don't know, dude.
I could see Rhea definitely winning the title.
And maybe Finn winning?
And maybe Finn Balor winning.
Because then you close the door on one side, but the door's still kind of open on the other.
Because you close the door that Judgment Day aren't like the superior group, but they also aren't the worst. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they had a win for the night. They also have a loss for the night. I could see that.
Yeah.
Just so, I don't know.
I think we're going to have a surprise. Something's going to happen at Bad Blood.
Yeah. I
know a lot of people are predicting that Liv might turn on Dom and join Finn, because Finn was the one that took that hotel key.
Yeah.
You remember a month or so ago?
Yeah.
So maybe like it's Liv and Finn who are in on it the whole time.
The question is, does Dom go back to Rhea Ripley then? If that's the case?
Well, if that's the case, that does open for some cool moments. You just see Dom just like pouting and being like begging Rhea to take him back. I think that opens the door for some cool comedic moments there. Some entertaining television.
I can definitely see a lot more story opening up if that happens. And also, I feel like that can definitely lead more from this story to the next pay-per-view. Because I don't see these guys doing anything else besides from fighting each other after Bad Blood.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left they can do.
Because they're already dealing with LWO stuff as well.
I would like to start seeing some more tag team championship stuff on both sides, Raw and SmackDown.
We are getting a tag team championship on Monday with the New Day.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the opportunity for the tag titles to go ahead and be in their own separate thing and not being part of the story? Or do you think that...
I don't know. I think they'll keep it on them a bit longer.
Or do you think like this is so they can like push the idea of Xavier Woods betraying Kofi Kingston?
They could.
It could go either way.
Because it does still seem like they're pushing that story even a little bit, even after the whole Odyssey Jones situation. Seems like they're still kind of pushing that storyline a bit.
They definitely calmed it down from last week, though. With after everything, that they were both.
They probably took a step back and probably had to redo some things. Speaking of tag team gold, we had the women's championship tag team titles on the line.
Yep.
You had Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill retaining against the Unholy Union. What did you think of this match, Caysen?
After, I said it was a bad decision from taking it to them because there's nothing going on SmackDown. But I'm starting to get the impression that they're going to still bring the titles over to Raw. Either way.
For the most part.
Yeah. And
we saw a backstage segment between them and Damage Control's Io Sky and Kairi Sane.
Which it
seems like we're going to get a title match there soon.
So it seems like they're still going to have this tag titles in there, which so now I'm fine with Unholy losing it. I'm just hoping that they still get this on the Raw side.
I wish they would bring back, and I don't know if maybe there's an injury case or if there's something else behind the scenes going on, but like whatever happened to Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to see, because I was loving what they were doing with them.
Yeah.
Right before the draft.
I feel like it was... They did it so perfectly. They had the heel turn so perfectly, then they just threw it away.
Yeah, they just disappeared.
Yeah.
And they haven't been on the show. I'm like, man, dude, I'm loving this story so far. They're finally getting some good TV time. They're showing off, and they're telling a good story.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe Triple H had better ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, and this next issue I want to bring up is what I kind of want to talk a bit about.
The most?
So we had Raw was in Canada. So who else to have as a special guest? None other than our hero, Bret the Hitman
of course.
Hart.
I forgot about this, yeah.
He came out in the crowd, big standing ovation, and he was talking.
He was a hero. He's
their hero. And he's interrupted by the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther.
I just want to point out that Gunther is so good at
he's a villain. He's a great villain.
He's so good at complimenting people and then finding a way to reverse his compliments.
Reverse it and turn it into just a bigger insult.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that insult that I think you're referring to. So he goes and he's complimenting Bret Hart so much. And he's like, "You are my second favorite wrestler of all time. Second only behind Bill Goldberg." And the crowd goes nuts. Because if you know the backstory, it's Bret Hart hates Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
Because Bill Goldberg ended his career. He injured him and Bret had to retire. And he hates him for it. And to this day, Bret Hart still holds a huge grudge. And Gunther just exploited that.
It was a real low blow, which I'm telling you, every single week I love the mic work of Gunther more and more and more, and I can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Sami Zayn comes out, challenges him again for the world title at Bad Blood, and Gunther says no.
But
big fat no.
I feel like that answer is going to change soon because Sami then attacked Gunther.
Yeah, got a little bit of a scrap. Bret Hart basically called him a coward.
Yeah.
Not a champion. So, I mean, we're going to get it at Bad Blood.
We are.
And I think we both know Gunther's picking up that W.
Yep.
Speaking of picking up a big W, Dominic Mysterio defeats Dragon Lee.
Saw that coming.
So Dominic Mysterio's been on a roll lately. He's been getting the W.
They're definitely pushing the idea that the Judgment Day cannot be stopped.
No one's stopping them.
So that probably means that next Monday, that the Judgment Day is going to win their tag match because they're going to keep pushing the idea that Judgment Day.
Yeah, they want to make Judgment Day look good.
Yeah,
especially going into Bad Blood. We had a 6-women tag match. We had Pure Fusion Collective taking on Zelina Vega of the LWO, Lyra Valkyria, and their mystery partner, Canada's own Natalya.
Great choice.
I'll be honest, I was 100% predicting they were going to bring in Trish Stratus. Because she's Canadian.
Yeah.
And especially when you have that story with her and Zoe Stark, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. Little subtle finish to their rivalry a little bit. They can fight a little bit. But I get Natalya, bringing in Natalya as well, especially as we just had Bret Hart. I get it. They ended up picking the W over Pure Fusion Collective.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. I'm not feeling Pure Fusion.
I don't think anybody is, unfortunately.
I feel like they're,
and especially because I've hyped up Zoe Stark a lot, and I see a lot of potential.
I feel like Zoe Stark would be better by herself.
Yeah, I see a lot of potential in her.
And if she is to be in a group, I don't think this is the right move.
Yeah, we'll see. Getting back to Drew McIntyre, he came out and confronted his good friend Wade Barrett, who was on commentary.
Yeah.
Saying that he got in his way and said that if he ever did that again, basically there would be consequences.
So, first of all, these two are both great friends.
Great friends, traveled the world together, came into the country together.
Yeah.
Got into WWE.
I am really... This might sound stupid to some people. I'm really hoping maybe we can get a little bit back into ring action from
Wade Barrett.
He
says he could do it. It's more about he doesn't have like a crazy desire to get back in, but he said if the right story presented itself in the right circumstances, he'd be open to do it.
I feel like this is a great story for that.
And you could do it just on a Raw. I don't think necessarily you need to hype it up for a PLE.
Yeah.
You could do it on a Raw. You could have Wade Barrett take the night off from commentary, bring in Michael Cole to do one show.
Yeah.
And have him go one-on-one with Drew McIntyre.
Which, first of all, I was really missing Michael Cole, but I did like the new commentating.
Yeah, give him some time. Yeah. I know people are already dogging on him. Give him some time. Give him a few months.
And also, I forgot who it was, but I definitely recognized one of them from like other companies, like boxing.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I forgot his name. That's my fault.
It's like Tony. Isn't it Tony something?
I don't know, but he's a great announcer, and I really love what he does.
Yeah. So we have Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Adam Pearce comes out and tells McIntyre that he will face Punk at Bad Blood in a Hell in a Cell match.
Which we have a history of Hell in a Cell matches at Bad Blood. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so this is perfect in my opinion. I feel like it's a perfect way to settle it.
This rivalry.
Yep, settle
Lock
it all.
him in and don't let him out until there's a victor.
One thing that is pretty funny, not funny, I guess like something I've noticed about the rivalry is that every single time they had a match or some sort of like stipulation or something with it. There was never been
special guest, strap, and now Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Now, should this match main event Bad Blood? Should it main event?
I definitely don't think Sami Zayn and Gunther should.
I say yes.
I say yes.
Especially with a Hell in a Cell stipulation, I think you put that at the end.
I feel like any of the, I guess, either of the two, either Finn Balor, Damian, or CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, which I think CM Punk and Drew McIntyre would be better.
Especially with the stipulation. And then my next question is, where do these two men go from there after that match?
So I could definitely see CM Punk going straight after Gunther because that's what his plan was originally.
So, sorry, backpedal a little bit. Who do you think is going to win? Obviously,
between the two?
We'll have our official predictions later on in another episode, but between the two, who do you think at this point is going to win?
Well, I feel like if CM Punk's going to go after Gunther after, it would have to be CM Punk.
Yeah. I think the next PLE is Survivor Series.
Yeah.
So I think at Survivor Series, I think you got a good chance of seeing Punk versus Gunther for the world title. Especially it's like 1 year after he had returned. He's getting the world title shot.
And also, CM Punk's record ever since he did return, he's only won one match. And he's lost the other two, which was the Royal Rumble and...
Unless you can... But that's talking like TV. He had a couple live events. But
he did have the one with Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic Mysterio. But I get what you're saying.
I mean, like, televised events.
Yeah, he's only had technically 3 matches. The Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and
the
Bash in Berlin.
Yeah, and he's only won one of those matches. If he's going to go up against Gunther, he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to win.
What better way than main eventing a PLE against Drew McIntyre, the jackest guy in the locker room, in Hell in a Cell?
So, do you agree that CM Punk's going to win, or who do you think will win?
I think from an unbiased perspective, I think Punk will win.
Yeah.
Now, who do I want to win? I want Drew McIntyre to kick CM Punk's head off. But I don't see that going to be the case. However, so we talked about where Punk will go. If McIntyre loses, where does he go from there?
I don't know.
That's where I think you could maybe pull off the Wade Barrett. Yeah. There's a little story there then. He hinted at it a little bit on this Raw. Then if Barrett gets involved somehow...
Do you think the point of that specific part right there is to plant a seed for the next rivalry?
I think part of it is they planted a little bit to see maybe on social media how people would react to it.
Because it's really small.
Are people open to it? Would people be invested in a Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre match?
I am.
And I think you could do it just on a Raw. Like a main event for Raw, McIntyre versus Wade Barrett. You could do something there.
I would definitely be for it. Yeah. Definitely. I feel like it would be a great way to just get to get Drew McIntyre still relevant after this rivalry, because I don't see him going anywhere else after this. I'm going to be honest. Maybe Braun Breaker, but I don't think that's a good idea.
That's the thing. If he doesn't go against Wade Barrett after, I could definitely see him taking some time off.
Yeah.
And then Punk kind of just being the main guy on Raw for a bit.
Or you could also see him going after Jey Uso, which...
If Jey Uso wins the IC title.
Yeah, which I don't think he will.
I don't think he will. No, I think Braun Breaker's going to hold on to that title for a hot minute.
I think Braun Breaker, if not, will be one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time.
No more than Gunther. No way he's better than Gunther.
I'm saying one. One of them.
One of. All right. Moving on, we had Rey Mysterio defeat Finn Balor by disqualification.
Yeah, so really, I was really glad they ended it like this, because this is definitely a match I could see later in the future, because both of these guys are great.
And you don't want, especially because they're trying to keep Rey Mysterio as high as they possibly can.
Yeah.
You don't want him to suffer just a big loss to Finn Balor, unless there was maybe some cheating involved. But I think a DQ was a good way to go.
Wasn't it because he was continuing to attack him on the ropes or whatever? Yeah. So after the match, then he did the drop kick to the turnbuckle, and just continued beating him up.
Wouldn't stop. Wouldn't lay off. Main event of the night: Fatal 4-Way for the number 1 contendership for the Intercontinental Championship.
I almost thought Ilya Dragunov was going to win this. I really thought he was going to win. So that night, people were not invested with him. The crowd was not invested with Ilya Dragunov at all. Have you noticed that? During his entrance or anything, people were he was going like this, trying to get people hype, and everyone was just
I'm invested. I'm always doing this when his entrance is going on.
Every single time his entrance is going, I'm in my room going, I'm hype, man. I love Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov is the man.
I feel like other people don't have the love for him like we do.
Yeah, we got the appreciation. He was a banger NXT champion.
No, I feel like that's the main reason, though. The reason we love him so much is because we've actually watched his NXT matches.
I think a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, maybe there's a lot of fans out there that don't watch NXT.
He was looking like he was going to do a coast to coast but then got super kicked by Jey Uso during the match. Yeah. I thought it was a pretty cool moment. All these guys were killing it.
I thought Jey Uso was the obvious pick, so maybe they're gonna make him not win as a little surprise. Mm-hmm. But with Braun Strowman, he got out because Big Bronson Reed jumped from the barricade onto
Yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Yeah.
onto the table.
And it's not like Braun Strowman was like laying on the table. He was standing up straight and he just jumped on top of, and they just kind of rolled on the table, and the table fell apart under the guy's weight.
It was sick. It was so unexpected too.
Yeah.
Also,
I see that match maybe going down at Bad Blood.
Yeah, I really thought Ilya Dragunov was going to win, though. Mm-hmm. Either way, Jey Uso is the next challenger. This will probably happen at Bad Blood.
Now, however, I did see that it might happen on the Raw before.
Maybe.
Because they usually tend to have about 5 matches a PLE.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have Punk McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. You know that's going to take up some good time. You got Liv and Rhea, Finn and Damian Priest. I'm assuming I wouldn't be surprised if you have like an American-made Alpha Academy, because you don't just want one-on-one, and
you
not have
need tag action.
some variety. So I could see a tag match there, and maybe another one-on-one.
Yeah, I definitely don't see any tag action.
Maybe the triple threat. You got to throw some SmackDown stuff on there.
Yeah.
So you could have a triple threat between LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes.
Definitely. We'll probably have the women's
championship. You got Bayley, Nia Jax.
But besides from that, I don't see what other matches could go on there.
And I imagine Cody's going to be on the show because he's been doing the promo commercials for it.
Yeah.
So I assume Cody's going to defend the title there. It's just about who.
If that's the case, I really, really hope it's not Solo.
Yeah, I don't want to see that again. I'm over it. I'm going to say it. I'm over it.
I'm over Cody. I'm done with him.
Are you breaking up with him?
You know, Cody.
Look,
we all wanted you to finish the story,
and we're glad you did.
That was probably the greatest story in
wrestling history. They're going to teach this whole bloodline saga, Cody's story, in like colleges. Like it's going to be a class one of these days.
It's going to be.
They're going to teach it.
Wrestling History 101.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like the final.
Yeah.
They're going
to you have to write the timeline of everything.
Anyways, what we're saying is, Cody, we're glad. You did it. You made a huge impact on the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
But once again, you're kind of leaving us still. The reason we were so hype about you winning is because we're like, okay, we don't have to deal with this Roman Reigns stuff anymore. Yeah. We don't have to deal with watching these matches of Roman Reigns winning continuously, knowing he's going to win.
He's going to win.
With we had a hope. We had a hope that there is going to be more like surprises with this championship. We're going to see more title changes. We're going to see more history develop with this new championship. But what do?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Same thing every week.
It's the same thing, but with a face. That's literally all it is. Same thing with a face.
Turn him heel.
If Cody turned heel, I would tune in to SmackDown in my sleep.
In his sleep. He'd watch it multiple times a day.
I'd watch an episode multiple times, even though I know what's going to happen in that episode.
He'd watch the episodes backwards. That's how much he'd watch it. He doesn't want to miss any little thing, so he'll watch it any way he can.
I'm just saying, I hope that there's other people that agree.
No, I think that's a majority opinion. I think a lot of people agree.
Because even my brother that does not really care about WWE as much as us, he's
even over it.
He's even over it. He doesn't even like Cody. He wanted Cody to lose at Mania. Was he right? Was he predicting this to happen?
He may have seen things before we did.
He might have saw the future.
He might have.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think of Cody Rhodes? We keep asking you to put this in the comments, but seriously, I don't like this. I don't like it. Wrestling is cool again, but Cody, you're starting to make it uncool again.
Ooh,
that's a hot
Clip
take.
That.
It's a hot take, but it's what I believe.
We might get some hate mail for that one.
But still, there's no way you could defend Cody with what's happening. Cody versus Rock.
It's just getting boring. It's getting boring.
It's draining.
Yeah.
Cody versus Rock does not need to be for the title. No title involved, because then we know the answer and we don't care. We don't have interest.
All right. Blood pressure's getting high. blood pressure's getting high.
All right, let's talk about NXT.
NXT.
So NXT.
You know a little bit more because I was busy this night, so you tuned in and watched it.
First of all, we started off with the tag team match.
So it was gonna be Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the Rascals, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. So in come the Street Profits.
First of all, I'm really glad that they ended this match not like with an official pinfall or submission, because these are former NXT champions, and let's be honest here, I could see them absolutely winning that match.
Yeah.
But this thing was so surprising to me. I did not expect this at all. The bloodline was what caused the match to be over. And they definitely
just destroyed everybody.
They destroyed everybody. They definitely left a mark. So I'm starting to think that, I don't know. I'm wondering where they're going to go with this.
Yeah.
Maybe they want a pay raise as well. Maybe everybody wants pay raises.
Everybody's working double duty nowadays. Second match, you had Julia defeating Chelsea Green. Julia's first match in the WWE.
Yep.
And she's already got a NXT title shot coming up on the first NXT on the CW.
She did great in her debut. I just want to point that out. She looked great.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if she would be one of the people. Is she
the one to take the title from Roxanne?
Yeah.
You think she's the one?
I could see her being drafted to Raw or SmackDown the next draft.
In the next draft that quick?
I could see it. I can see it.
All right. Respect.
I can see it.
NXT Heritage Cup champion Charlie Dempsey defeated Javon Evans.
Ooh.
He had Cedric Alexander in his corner.
Yep.
Kind of trying to be his hype man. Obviously wasn't enough for tonight.
Yep.
For this night. You had Obafemi pretty much putting out an open challenge.
And it was a dude that was paid by the Don. The Don was like, I need you to take him out.
A lot of people were thinking this was going to be Omos.
Yeah.
I
thought it was going to be Omos because, let's be honest here, the video, he looked just about
looked like
big.
a big dude. And this guy was a big dude.
This dude was a big dude.
Hammerstone from TNA.
Yeah. I almost had Hammer Shark. I don't know why.
Hammerstone from TNA.
He looked good.
Yeah, big boy. Two big boys going at it for the North American.
The crowd was definitely hyped from it. Great move by Shawn Michaels. If that was his
Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I'm sure that was his decision. Anyways, great match. Loved it. Of course, Obafemi.
I don't know who's going to take the title off of this guy.
Unstoppable. Definitely can see him going to the main roster.
Speaking of unstoppable, Ridge Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Taking on Duke Hudson.
Duke Hudson was like, hey, Andre, tune in because I'm about to beat him up. Because the Andre Chase wasn't there that night because he had like injuries.
Injuries from Ridge Holland's attack.
And Ridge Holland got the upper hand and he was just attacking him. He even got to the point where I think he shoved Duke Hudson into one of the other Chase U members and it injured him as well.
Oh no! I still hope that they make a faction. They put Ridge Holland with Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen.
I can see it.
I think that would be a cool faction. 3 of them, like a cult-like faction with Sean Spears as like the leader.
Sean Spears definitely has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I love Sean Spears.
I'm
so glad he's just not the perfect 10 anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of... Yeah, I love the role that he's in. Wendy Chu and Rosemary attacked Jordan Grace, who had put her TNA Knockouts championship on the line. Open challenge. Sol Ruka accepted, but in came Wendy Chu and Rosemary, who put a stop to things.
I also want to point out that this show technically had 3 title matches, including the Heritage Cup. So, first of all,
and full of TNA people.
Yeah. You
had Jordan Grace, Rosemary, and Hammerstone, all from TNA.
Yep. Great show. That match, great match. Ended off with the disqualification. I thought Sol Ruka she had a chance. She had a chance. Sol Ruka looked good, by the way.
Yeah.
She looked great. But yeah, that was the outcome of the match.
Final match of the night, you had Trick Williams against Pete Dunne in a last man standing match.
Yeah. First of all, you can see that Pete Dunne was still hurt from the Monday
He's a little sore. He was only 24 hours removed.
He had like a bruise on his eye.
Yeah. Well, he's the bruiserweight.
Anyways, I wanted to say this match carried that show tonight, to be honest.
Yeah.
First of all, there's just so much happening with what was going on. Both of them did amazing in making that match happen. Mm-hmm. The highlight, of course, was whenever they're on top of the rings here.
That little
ledge,
podium or whatever.
Whatever it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
And
if you don't, search it up. It was sick.
Sick.
But anyways, they both collapse onto the table down there, and then here comes Ethan Page begging Butch or Pete Dunne
to
get up, and he doesn't. He decides he's like I'm gonna make sure that Trick Williams doesn't get up, so he goes over and runs over the Trick, but Trick Williams throws him onto the table, and he collapses through the table, and Trick Williams wins.
And it looks like we're getting a title match between the two, Ethan Page and Trick Williams.
The winner of that match was going to face Ethan Page.
On the first NXT on the CW.
Yep. Excited for that. Trick Williams definitely deserved it. Great. It was just a banger match. Whoop that Butch. Whoop
that Butch.
Anyways.
That caps it off for all the recaps for the last few shows.
Yep. Where do you see Butch going from here? Or Pete Dunne?
Maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Give him a little bit of a break. He's been working hard these last few months.
Maybe he's been working this often just so he can get that break.
I mean, I would say he deserves a little something for seriously. Like put him in a big storyline again. Put him in something because I mean he worked hard. He put on a banger main event match. Yeah. He was in a main event on Raw and NXT 2 nights in a row.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he was a main event superstar that week.
I mean, put him in something. Put him against Obafemi if you want to keep him in NXT. If you want to put him back on Raw. I know he's got still a bit of unfinished business with Sheamus.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably see that a little bit finish up. But yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and
do the top 10.
So I was the person that chose top 10. Mm-hmm. And let's just call this the Ruthless episode because this top 10.
You told me this. I was like, dang, Caysen, are we trying to get people fired?
Is the WWE wrestlers that should just leave the WWE and move on. They need
because it would be beneficial for them.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning by
not that we just want to get rid of them. We don't like them. That they're not doing much, and it doesn't seem like anything's going to happen.
There's nothing else they can do from where they are right now that would be impactful.
From our opinions. Yep. Our opinions. Obviously, we love everybody.
Of course, all these superstars I love. I think they're great. Some of them were.
It's just I want to see them do more, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen with WWE at this point.
Yeah,
they deserve better, and we know they can do better if given the chance.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so let's go ahead and start here.
Number 10.
Number 10. Three, two, one. I said Tyler Bate.
I said Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai makes sense.
Dakota Kai, it's just I feel like she's hitting a ceiling.
Yep.
As much as you know, I'm a huge Damage Control fan. I'm a huge Dakota Kai fan, and I wish she would get the chance to prove her ability as a singles competitor. Yeah. I wish they would have put her in the Money in the Bank match. I think that was a missed opportunity, not giving her that chance to shine there.
Yeah.
Tyler Bate, yeah, I mean, he's insanely strong. He's got the skill.
Yeah. I did Tyler Bate because there's after his little tag team stuff going on with Pete Dunne.
Yeah, Tyler Bate, I think, is currently nursing an injury. That's why we haven't seen him.
Pete Dunne is on to his own things, and I just can't see those two getting back together.
Yeah.
I just can't see anything else going with him. I think that he should just set aside.
And it does feel like he's, especially because of this injury, he's getting lost in the rearview mirror. Pete Dunne, who is on a rise right now.
I don't see. I can't see Pete Dunne bringing him up there with him as well after everything he's done. So yeah. Now we're on number 9. Three, two, one. I said Giovanni Vinci.
I said Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler is a really good one. I said Giovanni Vinci because I can't stop looking at him without thinking of Imperium.
Which I don't know why they didn't do a little storyline there. With him and Ludwig Kaiser, you could have done something.
I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I also think that there's just nowhere we can go with him right now. He's just in a bad situation because everyone else is in their own rivalry. There's nowhere you can place him, in my opinion.
Because Shayna Baszler, I mean,
she has so much potential and talent. She was just being wasted.
We talked about this before.
Fusion, whatever.
Yeah. Back in 2020, I think she should have beaten Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. For the title, because she was unstoppable at that point. And at this point, she had her feud with Ronda that they were hoping was going to catapult her. And it didn't really seem to work out. Matches with Pure Fusion Collective, which at this point no one's really getting behind right now.
All right. 3. Oh, wait.
3, 2, 1.
Baron Corbin.
I said Sheamus.
That's a good one.
Sheamus because at this point with all the talent, especially all the young talent they have right now, I don't see them giving him another world title.
Me too.
Or chance.
I really don't.
But I think if he went to like TNA or something,
they could definitely use him in TNA.
He could do some real good work there.
I feel like he could lead one of the greatest factions in TNA history if he goes down there.
Yeah. You had Baron Corbin?
Yep, I did Baron Corbin. He made his name for himself in NXT, and then they just threw it away.
He reinvented himself.
And then they just threw it away.
He had killer programs with Braun Breaker as the Wolf Dogs, becoming NXT Tag Team Champions. And I honestly wish they would have kept him together, even just bringing him on the main roster a little bit.
Yeah.
For at least a few months. You could have done some tag team stuff there.
All right, we have number 7. Right? Number 7.
Number 7.
3, 2, 1. I said Ivar.
I said Kevin Owens.
Ooh, Kevin. Yeah, exactly. We were both talking about that earlier. I could definitely see them holding on to Kevin Owens for like later rivalries maybe. But with Ivar, first of all, great talent. The thing with Ivar is we haven't seen him in a while and there's nothing to do with him right now.
Yeah. And with Kevin Owens, I mean, we know he's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. All around, he's a great professional wrestler. And I just think we're losing traction with him because there's just not a whole lot for him to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of just getting repetitive.
I can at least see him like getting like a break maybe.
Yeah.
But still, I just don't think that we're doing the right things with him. All right, number 6. 3, 2, 1. Cedric Alexander.
And AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Yep.
He could go anywhere and be a star.
He made his name for himself before he went to WWE.
I was a fan of him way before he was in WWE. I started watching wrestling when he was in TNA.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him a lot on there.
I could see him heading back to TNA.
TNA would be cool. I know he loved doing some stuff in Japan. And, like, to be completely honest, I think he would kill it in AEW.
Yeah.
Especially just with his kind of style. Cedric Alexander.
I've seen this guy ever since the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
He has a lot of potential, but with where he is right now, there's nowhere we can use him.
Here's what I said. I say I'd like him to see him leave WWE. And because he is at this point, he is the last remaining member of the original Hurt Business left in WWE.
It's true.
If he leaves, then wherever, TNA, AEW, wherever, I would love to see a Hurt Business reunion. Him, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP.
I could definitely see that in AEW.
I would love to see that, and I think the fans would love that too.
Yeah, I'd love to see that in AEW. That's like the perfect place you can put them in.
Mm-hmm.
There's like so many like teams, I guess, or like just like people in general that would fit so much better in AEW just because their persona fits in that kind of place.
Number 5.
Number 5. Oh, why'd I erase mine? I didn't even show you all this. What am I doing?
3, 2, 1.
Apollo Crews.
Baron Corbin.
Apollo Crews.
Former Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. With Apollo Crews, they had a lot of potential for him, but then they just dropped the ball so quickly, and then now they just use him as a jobber now.
Yeah.
Like what I said before, he's like the perfect like
They
debut.
definitely use him as like an enhancement talent to
Yeah.
help people like Giovanni Vinci work and help his character.
Definitely.
Stuff like that.
I feel like the best moments of his career was with the Titus O'Neil and their little team that they had there. I loved that group. What was their name?
I don't remember.
Was it like Primetime something? Whatever. This one might be a little crazy take.
Whoa, crazy.
3, 2, 1. Number 4.
Cedric Alexander.
Santos Escobar.
We haven't seen him in a while.
Exactly. We haven't seen him that much. I feel like it wasn't a smart move. Or at least it wasn't a smart move to use him early on after he went to SmackDown. Because, first of all, I feel like there could definitely be some stuff of him in Judgment Day, him in LWO, him in Final Testament. Just putting him in SmackDown, I feel like they're just kind of filling a gap with him there, and now they're actually not doing anything with him.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him being in AEW.
Number 3.
3, 2, 1.
OC.
Johnny Gargano.
So Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I put them in the same little thing there. Because, first of all...
Kind of in the same boat with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of made a name for themselves outside of WWE before they got there.
And also, like, I feel like they had a huge downgrade going back to NXT.
Yeah, again, they're just kind of just helping enhance those younger guys.
Yeah.
Which I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
But I don't think that's what they want.
Yeah.
I really don't think that's what they want. I think they want.
I think they
to
still
be up
got
there.
they still got some potential to put on some banger storylines. I had Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
We've seen the potential and the kind of matches he can put on in NXT.
I feel like I really want to see him back at a singles competitor.
Yeah, I'd love to see that same Johnny Gargano we saw in NXT on the main roster. And if they're not going to let him, then let him go do it somewhere else where he can really put on some.
Him and
real good
Tommaso
performances.
Ciampa, both of those guys should just go back to being singles. Don't even if they want to, they can have a rivalry of those two, like betraying.
See, I really think they could be the next Shawn Michaels and Triple H, where they can be teammates when they need to be, but they can be bitter rivals when they need to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like a Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn story.
Like we both know from our match reviews that both of those guys, they can make a banger match happen. Same with like Adam Cole.
Bebe.
Like he should. I don't understand why why he left WWE.
Well, I know at the time his girlfriend was there at AEW.
Yeah.
And a lot of his, and like the WWE, if they were, I guess the plan was when they were going to bring him to the main roster, they were going to just make him a manager.
Oh.
And he was not about that. So I think it was like,
but
I think he was also kind of getting tired of NXT because he just felt like, he was telling all the stories he could.
Yeah.
I mean, he did everything. So he was like, the only thing left is I'm only going to stay if you put me on the main roster. And the only way they were going to use him on the main roster, I guess, was as a manager.
So
he wasn't going to do it.
First of all, he needs to come back because the person that was going to put him in that position is no longer
there.
in charge.
And we know Triple H. Triple H is those were his guys because that was before Shawn Michaels kind of took over.
Yeah.
So that time, that's
when Triple H was in charge of NXT, right?
Him, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, all those guys. Those were Triple H's guys.
Yeah.
working on NXT.
So, I feel like, first of all, if him and his group came back to Undisputed Era, him and Undisputed Era,
I would
all
love to
of them
see it.
came back to WWE. We could see so much.
I have to believe at some point they are. Because, they were all growing up as wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So surely they have that dream of working a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Surely they have that, I want to do it at least once. So I think we will see them again in the WWE ring.
I really hope we do. And also, like we were saying before, they could definitely do a lot more now in this current era than what they could have done whenever they left.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Number 2.
3, 2, 1. Shinsuke Nakamura.
I went ahead and just put Tommaso Ciampa. We kind of just touched on it already.
Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura, first of all, he's crazy. He's good. He's amazing. First, he even was in a main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then, just like that, he's after his rivalry with Seth Rollins, which I'm be honest with you, was not even good of a rivalry, is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. And we don't even
I
see
know
much
he
more.
worked a little bit on a couple of live events when they were in Japan. He was wrestling AJ Styles, but I mean he hasn't been seen on TV in forever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just with him, I feel like he could do so much more somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He could definitely be a face of a company. They just gotta give him that chance.
Chance.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. AJ Styles.
Number 1, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Both of us touched on them already.
Shinsuke Nakamura, yeah, there's just... I think it was a missed decision. I think we look back now, he should have beaten AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The fact that Shinsuke Nakamura has never been world champion is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. He had everything.
But at this point, I think we've waited too long, and I don't see a scenario where he's going to win a world title.
Yeah.
In WWE.
They should have like, even before he had Sami Zayn as a manager, he should have been pushed way before that.
Yeah. Like, he won the Royal Rumble.
He should have been.
He should have won the world title at that WrestleMania. He could have still turned heel and still been champion.
He should have been that guy that would be, as soon as he's out in NXT, go ahead and rise all the way up to the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
He definitely could have done it, and they just didn't let him. Like Finn Balor. Like, they did that with Finn Balor. As soon as he got out of NXT, they pushed him to be the first ever Universal Champion.
For one day.
And then they never put him back there since.
He never won it again.
But Triple H is also smart and still using Finn Balor in great ways.
That whole scenario of Finn Balor never winning it back has made for some good storytelling.
Yeah.
Because he uses that every time. Last year when he was in a program with Seth Rollins, that was the whole point. He's like,
SummerSlam.
You're the one that cost me that title. You injured me, and I never got it back.
I really thought Finn Balor was going to win that match, to be honest with you.
It was close.
It was close. Maybe that's a match we could review someday.
Yeah. Speaking of matches, we got our 3 match reviews to get through.
Yep. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's do the Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles from SmackDown.
Okay, yeah. So this is our first ever SmackDown review.
Yeah.
Match review.
And this was 0 fans. This was before the Thunderdome. They had, I
Yeah.
think, the NXT superstars that were acting as fans.
Yeah.
Not a crazy long match, but it was a very highlighted match of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Between the two. 2 amazing technical wrestlers that I
Going
think
at it.
that could work. They could go a 3-hour show just them wrestling each other.
This is like the first ever new Intercontinental Champion with like the new look at the title.
With
and
the
stuff, right?
look at the title. Yeah. It was very new.
Great match. Do you have anything to say? Like the match was more like just great based off of the match itself. Like just
the wrestling ability.
The wrestling.
Too. AJ Styles picked up the W.
Yeah.
He Daniel Bryan at one point had him in the yes lock. Styles was able to get in the rope, and then Bryan was looking for a running knee to put him down for the count. Styles pretty much caught him, hit the Styles Clash, but he was too hurt to get the cover. Rolled out to the apron, and then hit the Styles Clash to pick up the W.
Phenomenal forearm, you mean?
Phenomenal form. What'd I say?
You said Styles Clash.
Did I say it twice?
You said it twice.
You know what I meant.
We all know what
I
you're
meant.
talking about,
You know
but
what I
still.
meant.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love that match. It's just it shows
off
action.
the technical prowess between both men.
Yeah. First of all, I miss Daniel Bryan, but he would have been on this list probably if
current AEW World Champion. Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson.
We got to see him perform.
We did. That was
when
awesome.
was in town.
That was awesome. I love Bryan Danielson. Love Daniel Bryan, whoever he is.
No. Next match, let's do the other Intercontinental Championship. Probably my favorite match out of the three, the ladder match.
Yeah.
Between AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Jeff Hardy.
You know a ladder match is going to be insane if Jeff
Ladder matches are maybe the best matches.
Yeah.
Ladder matches because you know there's just going to be so much chaos.
Yeah. I just love watching ladder matches in general. Just like with all three of these guys. First of all three of these guys they could have done a one-on-one match and still made a great match out of it.
At one point, Jeff Hardy got tangled up in a ladder and was sent outside the ring.
Yep.
He got caught between both sides of the ladder, inside of it. Came down, looked like he broke everything. I don't think it hurt him at all, honestly. I think it looked like it hurt a lot. I think if you went and asked him, he'd be like, it wasn't that bad.
It hurt a lot more than... it hurt a lot less than it looked.
He's like, it probably didn't. Probably, he'd tell you it didn't hurt that much. Jeff Hardy was jumping off ladders.
Yep,
I think he did a swanton into, was it Sami Zayn, I believe, with the ladder that was positioned on the apron and the announce table. He hit him.
I think it was Sami.
Through. Yeah, I think it was Sami. He put him through.
I think it was Sami, yeah.
Yeah, and then Sami decided to bring out some handcuffs.
Yep.
Handcuffed Jeff Hardy's ear to the ladder.
Ouch. This is at the time where Sami Zayn was not a face, by the way.
No, this was like conspiracy Sami Zayn.
This is heel Sami Zayn.
Yeah. And then he then handcuffed AJ Styles to himself. So now AJ Styles can't get up there. So he then has to fireman carries Sami Zayn and goes up the ladder. Here comes Jeff Hardy holding the ladder that's now handcuffed to his ear, slides in the ring, trying to stop AJ Styles. Sami Zayn has the key, unlocks his handcuffs then the AJ Styles to the rung of the ladder.
This might as well have been a handcuff match.
Yeah, and then Sami Zayn goes up. Styles can't get to him. And then Jeff Hardy's still stuck with his ear. And Sami Zayn gets the titles and wins an Intercontinental Championship.
Sami Zayn is insane. He was a perfect heel at that time.
He's that guy.
Great match. This is definitely one of the matches that carried the pandemic.
This was a good match.
Good match.
Pandemic era was a rough time.
It was. It was a very rough time. Let's go ahead and get to the
final match.
The final match. The match that had the most story. The match that is most significant today. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. Hell in a Cell.
I quit. Hell in a Cell.
It is an I
for
quit
the
match.
Universal Championship.
Let's go ahead and talk about how ruthless it was. Roman Reigns,
he was on God mode.
He was destroying Jey Uso. We had the strap, we had the chair, we had Roman Reigns do the drop kick onto the steps. Remember that? It was a crazy match.
At one point, the ref was ready to call the match.
The ref was ready to call a match, but Roman threw the ref out of the ring.
And I guess. You know, in other cases, people get fined for that kind of stuff, but I don't know if you're going to fine the tribal chief.
You cannot. Paul Heyman will take care of it.
Paul Heyman will take care of things.
But that match was absolutely awesome.
Out came Jimmy Uso.
Yeah,
he's telling Roman to stop. Roman starts crying.
He's
like, I don't know what I'm doing.
We're starting to think that Roman Reigns is like
having second thoughts
about this, but really I feel like he was just sad because he's realizing what he's going to have to do to Jimmy.
Yeah, he's like, the only way to get these boys to fall in line.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I think he knew what he had to do to beat Jey.
He knew what he had to do to have him acknowledge him. So he did the guillotine to Jimmy, and that's when Jey finally said, I quit.
Rang the bell.
Not because Jey was hurting, but because his brother was hurting. That's his brother.
That's a brother right there.
But first of all, let's talk about what Jey's went through. How many spears did he go through in that match?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Probably broke a couple of ribs.
There's even a part where he was like saying, "I can't breathe," which is.
And I believe him. I believe that.
I mean, looking at Roman Reigns, and would you take a spear from Roman Reigns?
Nope. I'm all good.
What about Goldberg?
I'm good. I'll just watch it.
What about Braun Breaker?
No, I'm good.
Okay, we should have a
Braun Breaker would rip me in half.
We should have like a top like 5 or whatever of like the
Best
spears that you would not want to take.
Yes, Braun Breaker's probably number 1. His spear looks nasty.
It looks so bad.
It would rip me in half.
Not bad as in like looks bad. I mean like not bad as in like
looks like it would hurt.
It looks like it would hurt badly. That's what I mean.
Real bad.
Oh, but yeah, great match. After the match, Roman gets the.
Yeah, this was when he's officially the tribal chief.
Yeah, his Jimmy's.
Like, is it grandfather's?
Yeah.
Or something? I don't know.
The Usos' grandfather, I think, or Roman's.
Which is Roman's grandfather.
Yeah. Anyways, they declared him as the tribal chief.
New tribal chief.
Paul Heyman. I just want to say, if we want this bloodline stuff to start popping off, we need Paul Heyman to come back.
Where's he at?
Paul Heyman carried the bloodline story.
For real.
Without Paul Heyman.
I think we'll get him by Survivor Series.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
I'm
sure they can't finish the bloodline story without him.
Again, we're talking, he could return tonight.
He could.
It could be tonight.
I feel like if they are going to pop off the bloodline stuff, it would be tonight.
Especially since it's the premiere on USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
With what you said about The Rock, I'm really starting to think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Rock. I don't think John Cena is going to get involved. I feel like he's going to get involved on Raw.
You think?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Because they need to show love to both Raw and SmackDown.
I know he's going to be on the Raw that premieres on Netflix.
Yeah.
I know for a fact he's going to be there.
Do you think that we'll see a John Cena-Gunther rivalry?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
and then maybe like John Cena defends it at WrestleMania if he beats Gunther.
Ooh. Maybe at the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
We see John Cena versus Gunther.
Ooh.
That'd be a good match.
Maybe we'll see CM Punk versus John Cena.
I think we'll see it.
Randy Orton versus John Cena.
See, there's those matches that I want to see that have happened before, and there's matches that have never happened that I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see John Cena versus Gunther.
John
Cena versus Braun Breaker. John Cena versus Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Like this new Drew McIntyre.
There's so much we could see of John Cena, which, again...
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
I just don't understand why he's going to declare his retirement and only most likely going to be in 2 or 3 matches this year.
Yeah, I bet he's not even in any matches this year. I bet his first match isn't until maybe the Royal Rumble, honestly. Royal Rumble match.
I would not be surprised. Which is very disappointing because there's no reason to declare retirement so early and then just not do anything after.
Yeah.
This is a really ruthless episode. I'm sorry. I'm really critiquing.
We're getting all of our...
But that's because
I love takes out.
That's because I love WWE so much. I want the best for the company.
So I'll give out my 3 matches for this next week.
Let's hear them.
So I figure since we're having a lot of Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, custody of Dominic situation with Rhea and Liv Morgan.
Are we gonna have an Eddie?
Why not we go back to the original custody of Dominic? Let's do Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero in the custody for Dominic ladder match.
Dude, I would really love to see that at Bad Blood. That would be so fun.
I want nothing more than Dominic to be in a shark cage hanging above the ring.
Dude.
That would be amazing.
How long ago did we say that shit?
I said that, and then I heard it on like I think it was Bully Ray or somebody on Busted Open Radio said it. And I was like, bro, I said that before you did. I was the first one to say that.
It's just perfect. I don't understand why they're not doing it. Maybe they are going to do it. Maybe they're planning.
I think it would be perfect. I think it would be a perfect opportunity.
I think so too. I think it's perfect.
Yeah. The next matches, let's do.
So just clarifying, that's Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
For the custody of Dominic.
Then I think since we just had Bret Hart show up on Raw, I thought let's do a Bret Hart match.
Okay.
Let's do Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania in the submission match.
You can never go wrong with that match.
Yeah.
That match is insane.
Yeah. And then I didn't have one. I couldn't think of one for my third that I was really wanting to watch. So let's do
Let's let the viewers decide.
Well, we can't rely on that.
What if they don't say
They just
anything?
don't say anything. Let's do. What was the one? Let's do Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor from last year at SummerSlam.
I'm down.
You talking about how you wanted to see that one?
That one's a good one.
So let's do that one.
All right, bet.
So you're kind of jumping around some decades a bit. You get one in the 90s, get some early 2000s stuff, and then you get some 2020 stuff.
2023.
2023. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just to reiterate, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, ladder match, custody of Dominic. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, submission match at WrestleMania. Then you got Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam last year.
Now, which show was the custody of Dominic match in?
Was that a SummerSlam, I think?
Let's find out.
I think.
We need to give the viewers the right show.
I'm blanking on it. And I forget what year. Just look up
Eddie.
Look up custody of Dominic ladder match. Ooh, this is a long episode, boys.
Yeah, man.
We
got love y'all. We want y'all to have a great time.
We got into it today.
2005 WWE SummerSlam.
WWE SummerSlam. I thought it was.
SummerSlam 2005. That's crazy.
Yeah. Woo! All right, there's your homework for this next week.
There's your homework. Is that all?
That's all.
That's all, man.
That's all.
Like we said before.
Like, subscribe, comment, share.
We need 100 subscribers, and we'll make so many changes that you won't even recognize. It's like a new season.
New season
of Ring Talk.
Ring Talk.
But anyways, you have anything you want to say, put it in the comments. Any ideas or anything, put it in the comments. We are doing the wax strips.
Yes, that'll be next week.
Next week. We just couldn't get them ready this week. I'm sorry. I bet you guys are ready to see it.
They want to see it. You know we're going to get so much dislikes because we didn't do it this week.
But that's okay. Because we understand. We are really sorry.
If the thing we've learned most from WWE, from the Bloodline storyline, is that patience pays off in the end. Quote that.
You guys can't get mad at us for saying what we said about Cody and Roman Reigns when you're doing the same thing for us. Mm-hmm. We're making y'all understand how we feel about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for watching. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith. Go ahead, show the nameplates right here.
Mm-hmm. I probably put them on before at the beginning of the episode, but we can put them again.
Go ahead.
Your hosts.
Let's go add some more. Let's go add some more edits for you, so you can have more work.
Yeah.
Fireworks. My face. Let's see if we can get the fireworks to happen.
And it thumbs up.
I think so.
Fireworks.
I feel there's been so many times I was rewatching our podcast, and it would be doing.
I don't know how
stuff.
it does it. I don't know what cues it.
It'll be doing like the most random. There's some that would be like random thumbs up emojis going around everywhere because
it's just
that
means we were killing it. That means we were killing it.
And then there'd be thumbs down ones.
Whoa. That's when you get your hot takes in about Cody and they don't like it.
Well, guess what? I don't care what y'all think. I don't care.